The steel pole industry got it started in the late 1960s with a company called Union Metal up in Ohio and Meyer Industries up in Minnesota. But American Pole was a relatively new startup. They started in '69. I joined them in '76. So they'd only been around 5 or 6 years. And but they, the steel pole, the industry was changing. The transmission structure business was changing. When I joined, the predominant type of structure was the lattice type structures that you see made of angles and structural shapes, and wood poles. That was the two predominant types of structures. And steel poles were gaining in prominence simply because they looked better, they took up less right of way, they could be made more compact, so the lines could be more compact, and generally the aesthetic appeal was what was driving it. So the steel pole industry at that time was getting its foothold in primarily very urban or suburban areas where aesthetics was playing a bigger and bigger part. They were a lot more expensive than wood poles and lattice towers, but the aesthetics was driving it. But when I joined, we were also starting to see some transition to using it for the labor savings that it represented over constructing lattice towers, and the fewer components to assemble meant that they could be assembled much more quickly and still have an aesthetic appeal that lattice towers did not.